Hey guys, my name is Jasmine. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're not. And every time that I go out, I get one of two questions. Where'd you get your outfit, and what scent are you wearing? And the thing is that I like all of us to win. I don't want to gatekeep or any of that. But the second question is always a little bit more difficult to answer because it's not just one thing, right? Like, I like to curate my scent. I'm like one part bathroom witch, one part kitchen witch, making like spells with my entire scent profile. And so because of that, what I smell like isn't just one or two scents, right? It's one part hygiene, it's shower routine, it's scent layering, it's what your house smells like, and even a little bit of like what you put on the inside of your body. So today I'm going to show you guys how to smell good all day, and if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys how I turn my perfumes into a spell that will keep somebody thinking about you literally all the time. So the key to making sure that you smell good all day long is starting from the inside out, right? That means making sure that you're brushing and flossing literally every day. I shouldn't have to tell people this, but the amount of people that I've come across and that I'm sure you've come across that actually need this tip, absolutely astounding, right? But brushing and flossing every single day, like either scraping your tongue with a tongue scraper or brushing your tongue with literal toothpaste. I actually do both of these things, as well as mouthwash. There are sensitive mouthwashes out there if you're the type of person who's like, I don't like the heavy ones that have alcohol, which you're not supposed to be using anyway because it helps to breed bacteria. But there are really good alternatives, and there are an array of things out there that would probably work for you. If that doesn't help, to be completely honest, you could just take a little bit of hydrogen peroxide water and swish that around in your mouth. That's a good alternative too. But just something to make sure that you're killing the bacteria off of your teeth, your tongue, and your gums. And to be completely honest, I actually, now this one might be a little bit controversial, but I go one step further and I ingest a glass of water every single day with some chlorophyll in there. I'm not a doctor, so don't take my word for it. Make sure you consult, do your research on this and consult all like doctors or whatever if you feel like you might have an allergic reaction or you are sensitive to new things. But it is slightly a detox on the inside, meaning that like, provided that you're actually eating healthier or at least eating cleaner while you're ingesting this and you are brushing your teeth at night, it helps with either having very low morning breath to no morning breath. And I also have noticed, this is going to be a little bit TMI, but we're talking about hygiene here, okay? So I've also noticed that when I go to the bathroom, it either rarely smells or doesn't smell at all, which is pretty good if you're actually going on like a date or you're going over to a new significant other's house, whatever. That might be something you might want to look into. But like I said, please consult like an actual medical professional on this. Don't just use something that you saw. I'm just a girl with a camera, okay? Don't just use something that you saw on my channel and be like, it didn't work for me and now like this is happening and I had to have like surgery for... No, okay? I'm telling you what worked for me. This is what works for me. Similarly to smelling good from the inside out is having a good shower routine. Now, if your washing routine is not good, you might as well just stop the video here, all right? Because no amount of scent layering and all these different perfumes or anything like that is going to make up for having a trash washing routine. Have you ever smelled those people that like went to the gym? And you could tell they went to the gym, right? Because they basically just went to the gym, had errands to run or whatever after that, and then you could tell they probably just sprayed themselves all over with Sol de Janeiro 62. And you're sitting there like, was the gym locker room shower not an option for you? Like, were you rushing? Like, what exactly went on, right? Because it's like this scent of permeating funk on top of like vanilla. You know what I'm saying? And it's just wild. Okay, now I'm not gonna lie, my shower routine is a bit extensive, but the first thing I actually like to do before I even get into the shower is dry brush my skin. It's good, I've heard, for lymphatic drainage, but to be completely honest, the reason why I do it is because it's really good for exfoliation And we don't just want our skin to smell and look luxurious, we want our skin to actually look clear. And so I actually just use it for exfoliation purposes to get all of the dry like dead skin cells and things like that off of my skin before I take a shower, or in my case, a bath, because I'm actually more of like a bath girly, and I like to make a whole thing of it sometimes with like bubbles and candles and lemon water and my oils, which we'll get to in a second, and a book. I always have a book in the bath, right? But like, not only are they relaxing to me, but like, I feel like they can drastically decrease your cortisol levels, which, and I thought about not adding this part in, but to be completely honest, I'm going to add the cortisol part in, because for some people, excess cortisol can kind of exude a scent. It's kind of like a metallic-y scent, and I've heard it's not a terrible scent, but it's just not what I'd like to be smelling like all day, right? So I take a bubble bath. I personally find that they're absolutely amazing. Of course, if you're more into showers, you can skip this part. But like I said, I'm a bubble bath girly. I think that they're absolutely a luxurious part of my day. And they're a lot less wasteful, I find, than showers, because you're not running the water continuously for like 30 minutes at a time. Because I'm not gonna lie, some of you guys are running the water like you are one of those like AI farms. And I'm sorry, like, it's concerning to me how much unnecessary water that we are wasting. So that's me doing my part. This is not a PSA, but I know that everything that I just said is probably going to sound a little bit hypocritical when I give you this next part. And that's because like after, like when it's actually time for me to wash myself, I drain the water and run just a little bit more. Like I'd say probably just up to my, I don't know, ankles or my shins if I were actually standing up in the water. Because as I said, I like to put oils in my water, and the reason why I'm going to go ahead and wash all these oils off, I know you're like, why exactly would you put oils in the water and then you're just going to wash it off anyway? And the reason is because a high quality oil, like the ones I'm going to get into later, will actually still leave a lasting scent on your body, but it'll be kind of faint. And they're also like, they also match the perfumes that I'm probably going to put on at night. But I wash it off because anybody with a vagina knows that the vagina does not like anything with scent. So if you go in and you use that same water to wash those areas, I don't like to mix that, right? So I take the water out, and then I go in with a few different soaps. And so like my first soap that I like to use, and you could tell like I am running out of this one. I am like it's on its last leg, but this is a antibacterial soap from Dial. It has a little bit of a scent, but like it doesn't really leave your skin smelling really like anything once you wash it off. But I use this on almost all places of my body. Keyword almost, right? Because some places do not like scent, okay? I cannot stress this enough. Do not clean Miss Kitty with this type of soap, okay? It is not something that you should be using there, because this is an antibacterial soap, and the vagina does have a bunch of different like bacteria, a lot of which that are actually good. You don't want to strip her of all bacteria. That's not a safe thing to do. And so for those type of intimate areas, I actually like to go in with my Dove sensitive bars, and I use the one for sensitive skin. I know they do actually have like a beauty bar, and they do have an unscented one. The unscented one I actually have heard is good. I would not use that beauty bar one just because for me, like I actually smell a scent, but I love to use the sensitive one. And I'm not going to go ahead and go in and tell you how to clean it, but I am going to put a video like down below in the description of this gynecologist who basically describes how you should go in and be cleaning all around and just all the areas. She does a really good in-depth job of that. So I'm going to go ahead and place that down below. But after I'm done with that, and yes, I do go in and for my face, I actually like the double cleansing method. For my skin, I like at least a double cleanse, but sometimes I'll go in with this like Korean, it's like this scratchy little Korean towel or whatever. And by the way, you should be using a washcloth with your soaps. I forgot to mention that. Don't just go in and use like the bar of soap all over your skin. Don't be doing that, okay? Washcloth with your soap. But for this one, this is more of like an exfoliating towel. And I like to go ahead and go in with a pump of my favorite body wash. This one is by Caress. I have been using this one for a long, long time. And Also, you could substitute the towel with like a body scrub of some kind. I actually like to use this one right here, especially if I'm shaving, because this one actually has kind of like this really oily, like nice oily texture. This one's actually brand new. But this isn't, I have another one actually for like every day or like every shave use. This one isn't for every shave use, honey. This one is $45, okay? She is for special occasions for now. So after I get out of the shower, one thing that I do before I even start to deodorize is I'll put on some type of, I'll either put on a glycolic acid toner like this one from The Ordinary, or if that's a little bit too abrasive for you every day, which it might be, you could also just take witch hazel on a cotton pad, put that underneath the underarms, put that on the thighs, swipe that up the bum. Just do like all the places that would normally have like bacteria that would cause an odor. Put it on all those places, baby, because like that is especially witch hazel, it does a really good job. Glycolic acid too, but they both do a really good job of making sure to like kill the bacteria in those areas. Then I go ahead and go in with my deodorant, and I actually prefer to use the Dove Advanced Care Dry Spray one in the scent Dragon Fruit and Coconut Cream. It is amazing, but like I said, they have they have an amazing array of things in that line, and they also have an unscented one as well. And then after that, I use my oils to go in and make a body powder, like a dusting powder. And it basically, what a dusting powder is like you'll put like your oils or whatever on a cotton swab, and then you'll put them down in there. You'll put your whatever powder on top. You make sure it's talc free though, but you'll do that, and then you'll kind of like let it sit for a little while before using it. And I swear to you, like this one pretty much, it does smell like the Fleur Heavy Cream mixed with a little bit of Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc, because I've used the oils for these, and I pretty much just dab them under my arms. I dab them like on my thighs. You can even do this like, you know, you can get it pretty close like on the mound before your vagina, but do not get it in. Also, one thing I forgot to mention for the spray, this deodorant spray, I deodorize everywhere. And what I mean by that is like, yes, I deodorize on my thighs, but I will also cup myself and spray like on top, and then kind of spray my thighs, get it in the back, right? Again, be mindful of that. Ask a gynecologist what you're really supposed to be using, but I've never had any problems, like I said, because I cup myself so that I'm not getting anything inside. And I will do something similar, but I don't really like have to cut myself. I just kind of dust this on my inner thighs. You could dust it on your feet. You could dust it under your boobs. I absolutely love using a dusting powder. Okay, this is the part I'm actually super excited about, because this is the part where we're going to talk about curating your actual scent. Do you guys know those little old ladies back in the day that like you could just smell them coming, right? You'd be like, oh, I know that's Martha right there. Like, I know Martha because I can smell her. Martha has smelled the exact same since like 1952. They always have like this specific scent, like Chanel No. 5, or like with my grandmother, it was white diamonds, right? And even to this day, like my grandmother hasn't been on this physical plane in almost 24 years, but anytime I smell white diamonds, I swear to you, it's like she is in the exact same room with me, right? That's because women back in the day had a signature scent, right? They weren't just going by like what was trendy at the time. They were actually going by, for one, what they liked to wear, but also their scents oftentimes had a story. It was either like their husband could only get them this every anniversary or birthday or Christmas or whatever, and so that's what he got her every year. Or this was the first perfume that I actually could afford on my own, or whatever. It had some type of scent to it, right? Or some type of scent story to it, right? And that's what we are building here. So this is the part where I'm going to tell you, like, go to the store and play around, you know? Stop worrying about what's trendy and actually play around figuring out what scent you like. Okay, like because the internet is going to tell you that 1 minute vanilla scents are in, right? And then the next minute they're going to be like, vanilla scents are so like 2020. Like, we're no longer doing the clean girl aesthetic vanilla scent, and now we're moving on to strawberry, right? And what everybody tends to forget is that scent also works with your own personal like pH, and certain scents don't work well for us. Like, I've noticed that for my own, we all have our own natural scent. And for whatever my natural scent is, vanilla scents are fine. They're okay. They're not bad, but I usually have to change them just a little bit. I have to sort of kind of finesse them a little bit and make them almost on the more floral side of vanilla, like the vanilla flower instead of the actual like sweet vanilla cupcake type of situation. And so because of that, I've been testing them around. I've literally gotten testers, or I'll go to Sephora, I mix and match. And so that's honestly what I think you need to do, is either go to a perfume store, go to a perfume counter or whatever, ask them like what scents go with other scents or whatever. Also, that's a really good way of picking your body washes too, or just pick something unscented, because again, you don't want to smell like the entire perfume counter at Sephora. You want your things to kind of work well together, right? So for me, I have a day scent and I have a night scent. For my day scent, I like to use this one right here, Heavy Cream by Fleur. This one is basically going to be your marshmallowy, and both of my scents have like a marshmallowy orange coconut type of situation to it, because I do like something warm. That is actually in my scent profile, but then I also use something that is kind of a little bit more floral. Now this is Getaway Soiree. That was kind of like, I think, last year's introduction to luxury scents by Bath and Body Works, but it was a dupe for Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc, and that is one of my favorite scents of all time, and I love to spray these two together. And then, hear me out. Okay, so before we even start doing that, right, I get a lotion. Now, I don't have a lotion that I use for that. You could just use an unscented one. An unscented might actually work well, because what I like to do is I like to go to places and I type in fragrance oils, and I'll actually buy a fragrance oil that matches the perfume that I'm wearing. And like I said, I also put this in my bath. This is not the one I put in my bath yesterday, but I'll put that in my bath. And you could also put that on your lotion. Make sure you mix that really, really well on your lotion though, because they don't mix well with the skin very well. And I actually put that all over my body, so that's kind of my base. Or like I said, you could just use like some type of cocoa butter or whatever you want to use as your base moisturizer, but you want to make sure that you have moisturized first, right? And then if I'm going to do my day scent, I like a little bit of a glow, right? My glowy stuff for my day, because I'll also mix these with my oils. And so like, I'll show you, I guess I'll kind of show you what I mean. Like, so I'll take my oil like this right on my hand, and then I'll take a little bit of my Soleil Blanc. Like I'll take just a very, very small amount of this, and I'll take maybe like a little bit of the Heavy Cream one too, and I'll just put that all over, so that now I smell like it. And because this doesn't have a corresponding oil, so I like to go ahead and put this there so that you can kind of smell everything, and I smell just like the perfume that I would have put on that day. And then after I moisturize, if I still feel like I need, in like right here, if I still feel like I need like a powder, I'll kind of put some here. But then after that, it's time for my perfumes. And the oils help the perfumes stay on even longer. And like I said, I layer mine. So I'm usually spraying them in the exact same places, because again, I'm curating a scent, okay? Just because I'm using scents that everybody has doesn't mean that, or everyone has access to, doesn't mean that I want to smell the exact same as everyone else. I want my scent to be memorable. And that's gonna take us over to our night scent, because I do the exact same thing for my night scent, but what I will say is my night scent is kind of that more like sexy scent, right? It's kind of that more like I might be going out at night having cocktails until 3 in the morning, or we may be staying in type of scent, right? Like for me, now again, you're gonna have to smell this, but for me that is Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy and Kayali's Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar. I honestly swear by these two. These two are the most amazing perfumes ever. There are dupes to this one. This one does have a smaller version that's like $30. be mindful of it, because like I said, she's 250, baby. She is 100. So be very, very mindful of that. But one of the dupes that I do love, like when it comes to lotions, and she does have a dupe, I like to use Silk and Noir's Marshmallow Whip. Okay, now this one is an actual lotion. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. This would be what you would use in place of the other, like something more scentless, if you're gonna use this combination. She is more of a thicker butter, and I love that because I'm not gonna lie, I feel moisturized all day long. And this is the one that you use in place of like some type of glow product. I'm actually gonna put it on because just so I can show you, because I'm not really going out anywhere, but this kind of is a whip, so it goes on like that. But you see this? You see this glow? I'm telling you, this is, and they have different scents too, but just, oh my gosh, the way this one looks, and it smells just like the Kilian Love Don't Be Shy perfume. This brand is absolutely amazing when it comes to their whips and things like that. They even have one called Plain Jane if you really don't like scent at all. They have one called Plain Jane. And like I said, this is the one I put in my bath last night, but I go to a place called Wellington Fragrance Company, and they have the fragrances for both of these, which was honestly a godsend for when I was making my powder. I make the bigger powder in this one though, because like I said, I use this at night before bed. Again, I put her underneath, I put her under my arms, on my feet, I put her in between my thighs, I put her behind my knees, girl, I put her behind my ears, I put her everywhere, okay? I put her anywhere I'd want somebody's lips on me, baby, because like, I'm not gonna lie, scent is one of those things that will keep you in a person's mind just for years after. This is for my curly girlies specifically, all right? Because we all know that like there are perfume sprays and things like that. I believe that this company itself has a perfume spray for the hair, and I've heard it actually smells really good. But if you are someone with curly hair, but you have it in a straightened state like mine, you're not gonna wanna spray anything liquid in your hair. Nothing turns me into a possible serial killer than straightening my hair and going outside and rain starts. The evil, the absolute audacity, the nerve, just thinking about it is actually really irritating me, but nothing makes me madder than that, right? And so this next step is for my curly girlies who want their hair to smell good, right? They don't want to get their hair wet because they just got their hair in their perfect curl, perfect curl down or whatever, or their hair is in a straightened state and they don't want to get it wet again. I like to take a little bit of sweet almond oil, like this, and then I'll just pour, not pour exactly, I'll just kind of take a dropper, whatever, and drop a few drops of my scent blend in it. If I'm going out in the day, it'll be this one. If I'm going out at night, it'll be one that kind of matches my night scent. And I like to just go ahead, rub that in my hands, put that through my hair so that it still smells really good. But we're not worrying about like the actual wetness from my hair, making my hair frizz or anything like that. Like, no, we're trying to smell good and look good too. Now we are going to get into the part of the video that I know you have probably stayed for, and that is basically the part about like how to keep yourself on that person's mind all day long. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a witch, but I will say I have smelled scents, right, for years after that have made me think of a person, and you can't help but to think of the good times with this person. First, pick the scent that you want to be remembered by, okay? And that's whether that's your daytime scent because you feel like you're mostly around that person in the daytime, or because it's your nighttime scent because of whatever you two get up to at nighttime or any time in between. Pick the scent you most want to be remembered by, right? And drench your home in that scent. My mom used to have this friend when we were living in Germany and I was like a kid, right? And her friend's son used to say that he could always tell when his mom had just been over at our house because she always smelled like it. And like, it was true. My mom had incense going and she had candles going, and she used to have this air freshener that I swear to you, you could smell like down the block. We lived in an apartment, and before you even came into our door, we were on the first floor, you could smell our apartment before the door even opened. It was that powerful. And even to this day, like when I go home to like visit my family, the smell of home for me is a Bath and Body candle. It's incense. It's whatever my mom puts on the floor. It's her laundry. My mom is a very big scent girly, right? And she always makes sure that like those things smell incredibly clean. In fact, she is the person that like, she is the OG when it came to me like discovering people putting powder on their body. My mom is a very big scent girly, right? And so have you ever been to a person's house and they smoked? Or they had dogs and the whole house smelled like dog or cat or whatever, and you were just kind of like, and not only that though, but like they kind of smelled like whatever the inside of their house was like. It's like that. Your environment is going to rub off on you. And so oftentimes, like if it were my day scent or whatever, I would probably take my day scent, my day oils or whatever that match my day scent, and I would actually make it into a little like spray for like upholstery and things like that. I've done it using water, a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and my oils. It makes a really good linen spray. It makes a really good upholstery spray for your couches. It makes a great spray for your curtains and your car. It's just fantastic, right? But why I said come up with your own like scent for like what you want to be remembered as, because what you're gonna do is and this is, I would associate this with your night scent, your sexy scent, right? I would find oils, and I'm gonna post all the places that I get my fragrance oils, but I take my Killian Love Don't Be Shy and my Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar oils, and like I said, not only do I make them as like a linen spray or an upholstery spray or whatever, but I also make them into candles. And there are tons of videos on YouTube that you can get about like how to make your own candles, but I make them into candles so that my entire house smells like my nighttime scent. I also, like I said, I have the perfumes that match. I spray this on my bed, okay? I spray this any place that I would actually want to take a person. And another little fun thing that you can do, say they're going away on a business trip or they're just going back to their house or whatever, be real cutesy with it, right? Write them a cute note or whatever, right? Give it a little spritz with both of your perfume sprays, and now they're thinking of you, yes, but they're also thinking of your house. They're thinking of dinners with you. They're thinking of experiences with you, laughter with you. They're thinking of sexy time with you. They're thinking of all the things that you do at your house, because you've got candles now that smell this exact same way. You've got powders that smell this way. You've got linen sprays that smell the exact same way. You have now woven a spell around them based on scent. And it's technically not even like magic. It's actually science, because the olfactory sense is the strongest when it comes to memory. So do with that what you will. I hope that you have absolutely enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that it was educational. I hope that we kept it classy and we kept it cute. But I also hope you guys really got something out of this. I'm manifesting that you guys did get something out of this. And as always, guys, romanticize the world around you and love yourself. Bye.